Today is going to be our last international edition of this season. So we thought that we should take a look at all our topics of the last month. So tonight at the Lately Show we are proudly presenting our international roundup.
From YouTube's World News headquarters in Berlin, The Lately Show with Florian Strzeletz.
Welcome back to The Lately Show in our international edition, where we usually take a look over the fence almost every time with me, YouTube's Florian Strzeletz. So this is our season finale. We are going through all the topics of our shows, hopefully in one go without smoke and mirrors, which could be a huge mistake. Speaking of huge mistakes, speaking of Donald Trump. Last time we spoke about the Russian affair, it was just a small bonfire. But now it has become a forest fire burning through the White House. So if you have ever thought that the Russian affair is fake news, you obviously didn't vote for Donald Trump. Because a study made by the Public Policy Polling Institute shows that 72% of Trump voters are still thinking that the Russian affair is fake news. 32% of these people also think that the meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian lawyer never happened. A fact even Donald Trump Jr. admitted several times as true news. And he even published his whole email traffic about this meeting, which made the work of many prosecutors even easier. I guess the special counsel Robert Mueller, who is investigating the Russian affair right now, sent a floral bouquet to Donald Trump with his thanks. Or like the New York Post wrote it on their cover page, Donald Trump Jr. is an idiot. Like father, like son. Speaking about stupidity, let's talk about the Brexit. An exit for which Great Britain and the EU would like to find a secret exit. Best to show how strange this thing is going is by talking about the picture taken at the start of week 2 of the negotiation about the Brexit between members of the EU and members of the British government. The EU members carrying big folders with statistics and strategy papers, and the British delegation is only armed with a small notepad. I guess in this notepad someone wrote the link to the documents, but no one was able to open it via the notepad. It's strange to see how less prepared the British government is about this huge and important thing, because they wanted the exit, not the EU. And they have only 24 months time to negotiate the exit, otherwise there will be a hard Brexit, which many call the worst case scenario. And it's a lose-lose situation on both sides. If the EU gives Great Britain a good deal, other EU members start thinking about leaving and getting the good British deal as well. And Great Britain still thinks that there will be a non-member who gets a VIP status in the European country club called the EU Treasury. And because of this, they are pretty lazy. But between you and me and the gatepost, getting a premium EU membership is not going to happen. As Theresa May once said, out means out. Doesn't she always said, let's make the Brexit a success? Sounds like, make Britain great again and give us your fucking money and shut the fuck up. God save the Queen. And speaking about queens, Donald Trump. And his never-ending story how bad the trade deficit between America and Germany is. And I tried to do everything to lower this deficit. I started to buy huge amounts of American steel, but I ran out of spaces for all the steel beams in my basement. I wanted to buy hundreds of iPhones designed in America but produced by Apple in China. So if I buy them, I'm going to import them from China, not from America. Same with a lot of American products which are produced by American companies in China, because it's cheaper to produce them there than in America. America first, unless it costs money. The only thing I found out I could buy directly from the United States was beer brewed in the United States. But I learned that in Europe this beer counts as a war crime under the Geneva Convention. I even thought of buying and importing one of the many failing Trump casinos, but due to the steel beams in my basement, I would not know where to put it. So, I don't know, maybe this whole story about the trade deficit is just one of the many colleagues Donald Trump is having, because of the Russian affair. Like he's saying, here's nothing Russian to see, go along, look there, the bad trade deficit with Germany and China, they're the bad people, and think about it. Half of Germany was Russian once. Suspicious you should be. A typical Donald. And speaking about suspicion, talking about Turkey and Erdogan. When we made the show about him, he was all grumpy. And since then, he even became grumpier. And I wonder why. But thanks to the internet, I'm a licensed mediator of the Church of Money on American Samoa. And now Erdogan and I can do an intervention. Erdo, I can tell you that because we are best friends forever and you sued me 2 times. With your behavior, you're hurting people. Not only emotional. By throwing innocent people into jail, you're hurting the Turkish people. But why is that so? Is it because when you wanted to become president of Turkey, you realized that a president of Turkey needs a diploma from a university and you never got one? And because of this, you could not become president. And after reading 10 of the 234 pages of the license agreement of Adobe Photoshop, you decided to make your own diploma via Microsoft Paint. And I think you made it up by hand in the end. Or is it because Donald Trump came along once to your golden palace where you live in and he made fun of it? That even his 13th bath had more class than your golden palace? I know, that hurts. Or is it because you never had a diploma from a university and you're still thinking that Charlie Chaplin's great leader is based on the book Mein Kampf? I know, Erdo, but this is the reason why they invented Wikipedia. Or is it when Putin came along and told you, you told him proudly how he changed the Turkish democracy via voting to a dictatorship, and the only thing Putin was laughing, because he did all this without ever changing the system? I know, that hurts. But Erdo, you know, there is one thing which you're running out, and that is time. You really don't think that you're going to be 200 years old, aren't you? One day you will be gone, and the Turkish people make their country great again, by tearing down your golden palace and welcoming democracy again. And Erdo, you know whose time is also running out for today? Our time. So that was our season finale. Thanks a lot for all your time, all your comments, your likes, your subs, your tweets, your emails, and good night and good luck. The Lately Show. Join or never mind.